to Eye on Paulsboro. Happy to bring you a new show. Today we come to you from the campus of Paulsboro High School. We've had some interesting news over the last few days, but the biggest news for me is the fact that Irma Stevenson is back in Paulsboro, back in New Jersey, made that entire swing without scandal. And there'll be community notes at the end of the show, because Irma, that's the only reason we do the show.
Well, no, John, we do. We keep everyone informed of what's going on in Paulsboro, good and bad, and most of the time it's good. Now, I got out of New Orleans all right, John. We were in one place on Bourbon Street, and the gentleman, the piano player, he said, you know, Mom, you're the leader of the pack.
Doesn't surprise me at all. We have an interesting program for you. The plant manager from Paulsboro Refining, Steve, is going to join us, talk to us about the recent things that occurred, and actually bring us up to date on the general circumstances around the refinery, how business is, and maybe a few surprises through the program as we go. So stay with us. We're coming right back.
Multi-policy discount, paperless discount, paid in full discount, homeowners discount, safe driver discount, chipmunk family reunion, someone stole the nuts, squirrel jail, justice.
Countless discounts. Now that's progressive. Call or click today.
Thinking about a new appliance or an LCD TV? Don't think twice. Think Weiss. Weiss True Value has a full line of LCD TVs plus a great variety of appliances. And of course, hardware items like TrueTest paints, Master Mechanic tools, electrical supplies, key duplicating, and Rug Doctor rentals. And for repairs on screens and windows, look no further. Weiss True Value, from making keys to selling appliances and LCD TVs. Don't think twice. Think Weiss. 39 West Broad Street, Paulsboro.
For everything, there's a season, and a time for everything under heaven. A time for sharing, a time for caring, a time for remembering, and a time for parting. When that time arrives, let Beth McBride Foley and Thomas D. Foley at the McBride Foley Funeral Home help you in your time of need. Offering a wide variety of funeral services from cremation to traditional, McBride Foley Funeral Home has been helping families with the loss of a loved one with over 50 years of combined service. McBride Foley Funeral Home, 228 West Broad Street, Paulsboro.
And welcome back. As I mentioned, this program comes to you from the administration building, formerly the Ireland House, here on the campus of Paulsboro High School. And when you drive by, if you look all the way up top, you'll see the bell that was originally at Buck Street School. That was a very special project that Walter Quint put together, and Dr. Quint's with me now. And Fred, move down with the camera a little bit. He's moving around in a very interesting way presently. Walter, what happened?
Well, I was helping out at a program one evening in the auditorium and wasn't paying attention and stepped in the back of a broken chair and broke my foot.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so it's getting better.
How far along are you?
About 6 weeks. I'm hoping about 2 more weeks, and I will be able to get rid of the scooter.
I happen to like it. I think it's very nice. You've got a cup holder, you've got a horn, you've got a Pegasus on the front. It's pretty complete. Thanks for having us, by the way. We visit coming out of an incident that, frankly, you know, a number of years ago, maybe not gets as much attention, but a fume caused some issues and now has raised some questions. You have answered in a very strong voice as to both the safety issue and the attention being paid here for the good and welfare of all associated. Maybe you can pick up from there.
Well, sure. Last Monday, when we came to school, we smelled an odor, and the odor remained. And at one point, people said they weren't feeling well, and we immediately called the first responders. We called the Paulsboro Police. They called the Paulsboro Fire Department, and we had emergency management on scene from both the town and eventually the county and also the refinery. Scanned the entire school, determined that there were no detectable levels of anything dangerous, and we continued school. Unfortunately, the same situation reoccurred with the same result on Tuesday morning, with no detectable levels of anything dangerous. Wednesday was somewhat different. We didn't smell as much on Wednesday morning, but people were saying they were feeling nauseous, they were feeling scratchiness in the back of their throat, and we again called emergency management. I can't say enough. They were here quickly and cooperative, worked very, very well with us. And at that point on Wednesday morning, we began to get some sustained levels of chemicals that frankly weren't good for you. Our decision was to evacuate school. We checked outside. There were some levels behind the school in the stadium, and our decision was send the students home, get them out of Paulsboro High School.
Yeah, and from that point, you had a few kids were sick. Give people a sense of how many kids are in the school.
We have about 550 students in Paulsboro High School. We transported 11 to the hospital. We used a school bus and ambulances and 2 teachers. Following our transport, several people went to the hospital on their own. But we moved very quickly to get them to the hospital, make sure they got treatment. We opened all the windows in the school, aired the school out, canceled all activities, and then at 4 a.m. the next morning, we had, I would say conservatively, 15 to 20 officials from Department of Environmental Protection, the refinery, county, local, monitoring all around, inside the school, outside the school. And again, there were no detectable levels, and we continued with school business as usual then on Thursday and Friday.
You know, as the story is unfolding, the reason we wanted to come here today was there were some suggestions, there were some questions raised as to a high school so close to an industrial site. Well, of course, for those of us who live here, it's just part of our neighborhood, and the refinery and the school have been here approaching 100 years together. Walter, you spoke with a very loud voice with a written newspaper column. Maybe you could inform people, because not everybody sees the paper.
Well, it's our view. The editor asked the question, would you send your child to a school this close to a refinery? And my wife and I years ago answered that, yes, because our son went here. We feel this is an outstanding school for a lot of reasons and an outstanding community to be educated in. And yes, we are in an industrial community. As I pointed out to the editor, not only do we have a refinery as a backdrop in our back lawn, we have jet airplanes, we have a superhighway, we have ships, we have trains. And that, as I said to him, welcome to Paulsboro, welcome to America. We use our resources in this country to make us the wealthiest, most highly educated, most powerful nation in the world. Someone has to make those products, and someone works in those factories that make those products. Paulsboro is one of those communities. And from time to time, there will be an issue, but we move very quickly to respond to that issue and for the safety of the students. So we feel this is an outstanding school and a good place to go.
I think you summed it up. And I also think that for someone who's observing things from a distance, people pay attention to these things. Now, of course, I graduated here a very long time ago. In fact, I'm almost embarrassed to tell you how long ago, but it was in the early 70s. You know, circumstances were different, standards were different, but safety has always been important. So we thought this program, we should just talk head on about this. We wanted to have Walter come on, and that's why we're at the high school. And we're going to visit with Steve, who manages the refinery, and get a rundown of what they think occurred, and just speak about general circumstances surrounding the refinery. So that's why we do this show, by the way, other than for Irma to give community notes, which is really the most important part of all of it. Thank you, Walter.
You're welcome.
We're coming right back.
Life is a journey that we travel with a lot of uncertainty. When your family is faced with change and you're in need of understanding, direction, honesty, and professionalism, we at the Landolfi Funeral Home have a tradition of assisting you with all of your needs in any way that we can. We offer many affordable funeral services. Please feel free to call us with any questions you may have or visit us at www.landolfifuneralhome.com.
Rizzo Family Chiropractic Center in Gibbstown offers pain relief with a difference. Using specific chiropractic adjustments, Rizzo Family Chiropractic will get to the root of your problem quickly. Bring your headaches, neck, back, joint, or limb pain to Dr. Karen Rizzo. If you have recurring pain, chiropractic can help. Rizzo Family Chiropractic can relieve many sources of pain without extended treatment and ongoing therapy. Give your family the gift of caring professional pain relief with a difference. Rizzo Family Chiropractic.
And welcome back. Now, we've heard from the superintendent of public schools. Now we're going to hear from Steve Krinsky. Steve, I think you've been on the show before, haven't you?
No, I'm not.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had. No, so Steve is the manager of the Paulsboro Refinery. And for those old-timers, I mean, it started as Saucony Vacuum, became Mobile, became Valero, and I'm very fortunate, quite frankly, that the O'Malley brothers put together a package that had this refinery continue and had these jobs stay. Now, Steve, of course, is not, he's not a television person. He runs the refinery. And by the way, all the people above him who are the professional communicators, they just don't happen to be available today because one's in San Antonio. I mean, they're really in San Antonio. So we didn't want to miss this opportunity to have someone on from the refinery to talk to us a little bit. about a couple things. Number one, what occurred on this particular day, but more importantly, how is the refinery doing? So first of all, Steve, welcome. And, you refine oil for a living. Television should be simple for you. I don't know why you would be concerned about being on television. But you heard Dr. Quintus give an overview. People seemed to react well and reacted expeditiously as things unfolded. So talk to us a little bit about what happened and what drove the particular smell.
I'm going to first of all echo Dr. Quinn's comments. We're a proud member of the Paulsboro community. We have been since for 98 years. Most people who've been in the refinery have worked there their whole lives. Their families, their friends, their neighbors all live and flourish around this area. Safety, therefore safety is our number one concern. We value the people who work there. We value the people of the community. We are part of the community. Roughly to start Monday morning, we became aware of the odor that Dr. Quint referred to. It took us a few hours to find out that we had a floating roof naphtha tank that had a leak on the roof. That naphtha got out onto the roof. The wind was carrying it out into the community. We quickly identified that, and we moved to take that tank out of service and to remove all that naphtha out of that tank, which took 2.5 days to do so.
Steve, it's a good point for clarification. When Steve talks about a floating roof, explain that, Steve, because the tanks, when people drive down the road and see a tank, that top is not stationary.
That is correct. The old terminology, we boil oil. In that oil, there's many compounds. Propane, butane being the lighter components, gasoline being the next cut, or what we call raw cut naphtha. All those compounds either have to go into a sphere, which can be compressed, or if they have high volatility, such as naphtha, it goes into a floating roof tank as to contain the material in that tank.
So in this case, is it the seal around that roof as it moves up and down that in this particular case did not do what it's supposed to do?
No, the tank was functioning just as it had. It had a mechanical failure on one of the weld seams. We have not got up there to find out what that failure was at this point, but through one of those weld seams, it was actually pouring naphtha out on the tank.
But not to the ground? Not
to the ground. It was only vapors that were released from the tank.
So as that evaporates, that moves accordingly depending on the wind?
That is correct.
Okay, and so now the follow-up to that, what happens after that?
Okay, so as soon as we found out we had a leak, as Dr. Quinn said, we sent out our own industrial hygienist, our own safety team out into the community, at which point we were not picking up any measurable levels of hydrocarbon or what we call VOCs, volatile organic compounds, in the community. Although there was odorous compounds that are in gasoline, and which was picked up, and for that we are truly sorry for anybody that we have impacted on that.
Well, I was just going to ask you. Your team called, briefed officials early Monday morning that this had occurred, and there would likely be some smells until the tank could be pumped off. Frankly, I think many were surprised that the duration this ran into Wednesday. I take it caught you guys by surprise as well that it lasted or it represented itself.
Not really. I mean, when you look at it, the size of this tank, it's a 50-foot high tank, and it holds quite a bit of volume. And you put gasoline out on a floating roof tank, it's not very easily to go ahead and say, okay, well, I'm just going to pump that material off. You don't want to sink the roof. You don't want to damage the roof any further than it was damaged. So it takes a while to put together a safety. Like I said a little while ago, our number one priority is safety to not only the people in the refinery, but also to the people in the community.
And again, to give a sense of what goes on when these kind of incidents are identified, both the state's DEP was involved. I mean, you have to report this stuff immediately.
That is correct. We have a very good reporting relationship, not only with the community and all the panels that we belong to, but also all the DEP and many of the EOMs. So we reported out just like we were supposed to, and we got on it right away, and we kept everybody abreast of things as they progressed.
Now, the suggestion of safety overall, how do you react personally? Because you've spent your entire adult life in this business. So when someone were to suggest to you that you shouldn't be near this place, how do you react to that?
As I read those articles, as everybody did, it cut deeply. It really did. It affected me personally as it affected everybody in the refinery. Like I said, most of the people that are in the refinery I've been in the refinery since 1993.
I remember that.
And a lot of the people went to this high school, graduated from this high school, have their families working, and they're still working in the refinery. It's a family neighborhood, not only the refinery, but to the town of Paulsboro and also Gibbstown. So when you read things like that, it bothers you because you know how hard, we know how hard, I know how hard, I know how many hours we put in to go into safety and trying to be part of the community. When I go out into the town, I want to be looked on positively. I don't want to be looked at, there's those guys from the refinery that affect us adversely. And what I want to get back to is the levels of naphtha that made it out of that tank never even came close. Were magnitudes lower than what's allowed by the government, even by the Department of Health from New Jersey. The odorous components of that, which got out into the community, I am truly, truly sorry for. And I know when the people in the community smell that, they don't know whether it's good, bad. Me, being a chemical engineer, knowing what they are, knowing that it didn't impact them adversely, that's one thing. But when they in the community smell that, they don't know that. And I'm here to say I am sorry. We are sorry as a refinery that we impacted the community adversely.
I think it's just well spoken. Before Steve leaves, I'm going to ask another basic question because these are not easy. These aren't easy moments for people who care, and you get a sense hearing him the genuine caring that's involved for both he and his employees. But how's business? I mean, gasoline is $2.05 on a Brooklyn Circle a day.
As long as we can keep very, very small portions of those components into the tank, business is good. There is nothing better than to have the low oil prices out there. It's good for us. It's good for the people out there. It's great for energy. People go drive bigger cars. Makes them buy more gas because gas cars are so much more efficient now, and we want to sell more gas. So this is all good. This is all good for us. We've done good. We had a good year last year, and so far this year it's starting off pretty good.
Very good. And if you live nearby, would you send your kid to Paulsboro High School?
I most certainly would. I grew up here on the river, riding my boat, and everybody. I drank more of the Delaware River than I did fresh water. Skiing out there.
That's a plant manager from Paulsboro Refinery. We'll be right back.
Multi-policy discount, paperless discount, paid in full discount, homeowners discount, safe driver discount, chipmunk family reunion, someone stole the nuts, squirrel jail, justice.
Countless discounts. Now that's progressive. Call or click today.
Thinking about a new appliance or an LCD TV? Don't think twice. Think Weiss. Weiss True Value has a full line of LCD TVs plus a great variety of appliances. And of course, hardware items like TrueTest paints, master mechanic tools, electrical supplies, key duplicating, and rug doctor rentals. And for repairs on screens and windows, look no further. Weiss True Value, from making keys to selling appliances and LCD TVs. Don't think twice. Think Weiss. 39 West Broad Street, Paulsboro.
For everything, there's a season, and a time for everything under heaven. A time for sharing, a time for caring, a time for remembering, and a time for parting. When that time arrives, let Beth McBride Foley and Thomas D. Foley at the McBride Foley Funeral Home help you in your time of need. Offering a wide variety of funeral services from cremation to traditional, McBride Foley Funeral Home has been helping families with the loss of a loved one with over 50 years of combined service. McBride Foley Funeral Home, 228 West Broad Street, Paulsboro.
And welcome back to Eye on Paulsboro. As spring comes, that means baseball's coming. You're watching the news of the Phillies down in Florida. Of course, I don't know how optimistic we are, but baseball is just an important part of everything. With me now is Dave Glocker. Of course, he excelled here at this high school in athletics, and he's come back to coach baseball. Had some nice wins last year, so we thought we'd grab him. We're waiting schedule-wise to get both Paul Marina in and Sean Collins to talk about their seasons, which were simply outstanding. But Dave, thanks for coming off the diamond to help us. I forgot how tall you were. I mean, I almost need a stepladder for this segment. So tell us about this year's show. First of all, a little bit about last year, because we didn't have you on the show. You had a couple nice wins.
First of all, I appreciate that. Last year was a kind of a record-breaking season for us It had been a long time since we had double-digit wins. Now, the program's heading in the right direction. We did lose quite a few seniors, but we have the guys stepping right up, and we are ready to go. But last year, we had some pretty exciting games. We beat Haddonfield in the bottom of the ninth on a walk-off home run by Tyler Bernanke. We knocked off West Stedford. We also beat Gateway twice, beat Overbrook, teams we haven't even come close to before. So things are looking pretty good.
It's just a lot of fun. And I remind everybody, we asked Dave a little bit about the schedule, but high school baseball games have no ticket. They are free. So if your afternoon permits, correct, Dave? I mean, it's you walk up and sit down.
Absolutely. Come on out. It's hopefully Mother Nature will invite us out, a little warmer weather, but we start 4 o'clock, and we'll be ready to go.
And the season begins. You're practicing now. You haven't played the first game yet.
No, we have not. Our first game is April 1st, and it is away at Lindenwold. Our first home game is April 7th. It's a Tuesday against West Deptford, and that is at 4 o'clock.
As you look at the lineup this year, you mentioned you've lost a lot of seniors. Who do you hold out that will carry this team?
We have a few seniors back. We have an all-conference first baseman in Brian Zane. We have Tyler Bernanke, who's getting some college looks. We have Stephen Baylor, who had a great year last year. And we have some juniors, and we have some sophomores that are playing for the first time off the JV team.
And how about the pitching?
Pitching, we have a few youngsters. Stephen Priest, he came in from Gloucester Catholic, and Zach Chenault transferred from Pennsgrove, which is great to have. We have about 7 pitchers. We should be okay pitching-wise.
Very good. And how many games is the full schedule?
It's 25 games and 1 tournament, so we're looking at 27 games.
It's a real season.
It sure is. It's all bunched in there because we have our senior trip and we have spring break. So once the season starts, we better be ready, and we will be.
Very good. A visit with Dave Glocker, the baseball coach here at Paulsboro High School. As I mentioned, there is no admission price for high school baseball. So check paper, check the internet, see when the kids are playing. And if your afternoon permits, come out, especially when the weather's nice. You can't beat it, especially for the price. We're coming right back.
Life is a journey that we travel with a lot of uncertainty. When your family is faced with change and you're in need of understanding, direction, honesty, and professionalism, we at the Landolfi Funeral Home have a tradition of assisting you with all of your needs in any way that we can. We offer many affordable funeral services. Please feel free to call us with any questions you may have or visit us at www.landolfifuneralhome.com.
Rizzo Family Chiropractic Center in Gibbstown offers pain relief with a difference. Using specific chiropractic adjustments, Rizzo Family Chiropractic will get to the root of your problem quickly. Bring your headaches, neck, back, joint, or limb pain to Dr. Karen Rizzo. If you have recurring pain, chiropractic can help. Rizzo Family Chiropractic can relieve many sources of pain without extended treatment and ongoing therapy. Give your family the gift of caring professional pain relief with a difference. Rizzo Family Chiropractic.
Shalom, my name is Rabbi Avi Richler. I am the Rabbi and Executive Director of Chabad of Gloucester County. Today I'm going to speak to you briefly about the upcoming holiday of Passover. Now, Passover was the first of the Jewish holidays. Passover is a celebration of the Jewish exodus and what really became the catalyst for the Jewish people becoming a nation. Now, often people come to me and ask, well, is Passover just a Jewish holiday? And I explain to them that no, the message of Passover is for everyone, and everyone can take something out of it. The most powerful aspect of Passover is leaving Egypt and going to freedom. Now, in Hebrew, the word for Egypt is Mitzrayim, similar to the word in Hebrew for boundaries, Meitzarim, has the same root word. Often I explain to people that Passover is a journey from our limitations that we set upon ourselves. We often set slavery upon ourselves by being enslaved to our jobs, enslaved to our bad habits, and often these things restrict us from becoming the people we want to be. And so Passover is really a time to take stock of all those boundaries we set upon ourselves and use them as an opportunity to try to break free and to really celebrate the freedoms we have to become better people, friendlier people, happier people, better husbands, better wives, better parents, better children, so that we can truly maximize our wonderful potential. Happy Passover. If you'd like to get in touch with me, feel free to call at 856-733-0770, or you can email me directly at rabbi@jewishgloucester.com. Happy Passover.
And welcome back. It's time for Commuting Noodles with Irma Stevenson. Beth, I told you Irma was going to be on the show. Walter, what do you have for me?
I have your coffee in the appropriate mug. It's red and white and from Hollywood.
And
oh
it's
my
hot.
God, what is that?
Coffee.
Oh, that's not right. Thank you, Walter. Thank you. Thank you.
John, it's steaming. I've never seen one of your coffees steam yet.
Something's gone terribly wrong. Irma, welcome back.
Welcome back, John. I'm happy to be back. You know how I love Paulsboro. The new record is out.
Oh my God, this is hot.
Yeah. The new record is out. Please, it's at Heritage's at the bank. If you don't have any, call me, 423-3787. I will deliver personally, okay? And it has our grandson, Claude Berthol, Major in the United States Marine Corps. He has the record. He is standing in front of Mount Suribachi in Iwo Jima. They're in Okinawa at this time, his family. And thank God bless our men and women, John. Wow, I have a lot of birthdays, John. I got a lot of catching up to. Happy birthday to Carl Merrill, Sharon Dorman Francesco, Raymond Giordano, Alicia Yamabushi, Jason Moran, Preston Hamilton, Lisa Justice Marina, Major Claude Berthol, United States Marine Corps, Jennifer O'Leary, Ida O'Leary, Archie Remnick, 80 years old, John. Archie still keeps going. Maggie Carson, Dorothy McLaughlin Pine, John Williams Sr., Judy DeVitro, George Wright, Richard Maiden Jr., April Nordruff Ziegler. That's Dripsy's daughter, John. You know our Dripsy. Zach Garin, who will soon be my grandson-in-law. Easy Rider, my other grandson. Brian Zane, Drake Williams, Russell Carter, and Margaret Ledoux, the wonderful teacher here of art. Great. Happy anniversaries to Gary and Raylan Stevenson. Yeah, it's still lasting, John. Bonnie and John Haddock, Debbie and Anthony Canista, Marietta and Pat Relation, Carol and Link Kessler, Angie and Ray Gezzi, and John and I cannot read her name. Oh, Dawn O'Hara. And
I'm the one drinking coffee.
I know, John. Well, tonight, Steve Anashevsky is being honored at the Gloucester County Sports Hall of Fame. So I'll have one for you, John. And it won't be coffee. Congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Randy Ford, originally of Paulsboro, birth of R.J. Grandmother is Kim Ford. Great-grandparents are Carl and Ann Ford, and Margie and Kenny Emmerich. And the proud great-great-aunt is our Nancy Carson, John. And what a play, John, our kids put on. Bring it on.
I heard about
it. It was wonderful. And Deshaun Burgess, he danced on the football field, he danced on the basketball court, and he was dancing on the stage. So we really, really enjoyed it. And like I say, congratulations to Steve. John, our artists, musicians, poets, and dancers' 11th anniversary will be at the Boys and Girls Club on April 17th, Friday. Reception 5:30, doors open at 6. Program begins at 6:30. We have Paulsboro's jazz band. We have, what they say, dancers, artists, musicians, and poets. And
that's Lynette's operation.
That's Lynette Melanie's, and they have done a wonderful job. Donation is $5. Come out and enjoy them.
Time for one more.
One more. Well, John, I got lots of more. Okay, Paulsboro Public Schools. Hey, parents. Okay, they will hold registration for preschool and kindergarten for the 2015 and 2016 school year. To qualify, a child must reside in Paulsboro and be 4 years old for preschool and 5 years old for kindergarten as or before October the 1st. Please call Billingsport School 423-2226 at the beginning of April to set up an appointment. And with this, John, I will now have 2 great-granddaughters in Billingsport School. It's our 5th generation of my family. We're staying in Paulsboro. You're not kicking me out. I'm not leaving Fumes Trail or anything. Train. Hey, John, we're here to stay.
Well, I think that really sums it up. For Fred Bookter behind the camera, Amy Cook, who joined us today, for Bill Crane, our producer, who couldn't be with us, that's going to do it from here, Irma.
See you on Broad Street, John, and go be great.
Until next time.